Are you drowning in debt and you're feeling overwhelmed and you're not really even sure where to start? I want you to stop worrying. Today, I'm going to show you an actual achievable plan. And in this video, we'll walk through together 4 easy steps to make a debt payoff plan that will help you take control of your finances and finally achieve financial freedom. Welcome, this is Laura from Lyme and Joy. I'm a wife, a medical coder, and a mom of 6, and I'm on a journey to become debt-free, breaking generational cycles of debt so the next generation can live and give like they were meant to. So if it interests you to stick around, because today I'm going to tell you 4 steps to create a debt-free payoff plan that will help you take control of your finances and finally become debt-free. Look, without a plan, it's easy to become derailed and unmotivated. I understand this as a heart mama. My eldest had 7 open heart surgeries, and so setbacks were just something that happened over and over again. But with a good plan in place, anybody can become debt-free. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, number 1, you need to go ahead and make a list of all of your expenses. This is the name of the expense, the amount of the expense, the interest rate, the minimum payment, and the due date each month. And if it's variable, then go ahead and look back at your bank statements over the last 6 months, add them all together, divide by 6, and then add $10 to $15 on that amount. So, if you had an amount, for instance, where the first 2 months it was 25, but then the second 2 months it was 30, and then the last month it was 20, you would go ahead and take that total amount, divide it by 6, and then go ahead and add, $20 onto it to be safe. And that gets you about $41, $42 that you'll go ahead and create that as the minimum payment. So that's how you'd handle a variable amount. So once you have all those debts laid out, now you're ready to really assess the next step. Number 2, you're going to need to create a budget. And if you've never created a budget before, I'm going to link a video up here in the iCards that shows you exactly how to create a budget and to do a cash envelope method, which would be really good to pair with this debt-free journey that you're on. That'll keep you accountable and on track and really know where every single dollar is going. So that's a really good place to start. That way you'll know how much money is left over from your budget. And even if it's a small amount or no money left over and you can only pay your minimums, this is just information that you have to know before doing a debt payoff strategy. All right, so you have now made and mapped out all of your debts and their names, their amounts, their interests, their minimums, and when they're due. You've created a really good budget or redid your budget to make sure it's fine-tuned, and you're ready to know exactly how much money, if any, is left over. And so now you're ready to do number 3, which is choosing a debt payoff strategy. So this one's really important for you to look at which one is best for you. This is not only a payoff strategy which saves the most money, but what is the best for you as a person. I want you to think very introspective. What will be the most motivating for you? What will be the most energizing for you? And which one can you stick with the best? So I'm going to show you that here on a Vertex calculator, but the best strategy is just one. Just pick one and start today. That's the only way you can get to your goal. All right, this is what I'm going to have you use is the Vertex 42 calculator. Go ahead and look up this one right here. Once you have that pulled up in the search engine on that site, go ahead and put in debt reduction and search for that. You need to go past maybe an ad or 2 and then click on this one that says debt reduction calculator. Once you're there, you're going to scroll to the bottom and you'll see 2 different options that you can download this. You can download it with Excel, or you can download it with Google Sheets. It doesn't matter which one you do, but once you download it, before you can actually edit anything on that document, make sure you save it to your device. So save it as, your 2023 debt payoff plan or whatever. Then you're actually able to edit those and put your numbers into them. So we'll go ahead and download this one. Once you have that downloaded, first thing that you're going to need to do is edit this right here. That is the start date to your debt payoff plan. We're going to choose July 1st, 2023. And then you're going to go ahead and enter in all your creditors here, their balances, the interest rate, and the payment that the minimum payment that you're making on those. Then your creditor table, information table is all set to go. It'll show you how much your total debt is and how much your minimum payments are every single month. And we are going to, let's see, change this to like you don't have any extra money, that you're just paying that minimum with no snowball. As you can see here, it's telling us that you have no snowball and you're just paying the minimums every month. Doing it this way, you will not be able to pay off these debts until November 2034. So if you change nothing and you just do minimum payments, that's where it's going to leave you out, which is a really long time to have these debts. So let's see what happens if we just change the method. We don't add any extra money to it. We leave the initial snowball of $545, which is just our minimum payments, but we use the snowball method. Let's see what happens. As you can see here, just by using the snowball method, we are now knocking off, about 7 or 8 years. So this debt will be paid off in about 4 years and 3 months, and you'll be all debt-free by October 2027. And if you don't know what the snowball method is, basically it's going to be taking your smallest debt, as you can see here, and paying it off until your largest debt, using your minimum payments as a snowball. So as for an example in this one right here, our smallest debt is this credit card number 1. Its balance is $1,200 and its payment is $120. You would go ahead and pay that every single month until it's paid off, which it's showing in the strategy table would be about a year to pay that one off. And once that's paid off, you would continue paying the $120, but instead of paying the card, that you're all done with, now you get to take that and pay it to your second smallest debt, which in this example here is this $3,200 auto loan debt. So you would then take the $120 and the $75 and add those together, which would be $195 that you would take every single month and snowball to the next payment. Now you see here at the very bottom that it's going to show you that the interest paid on this is $8,196.39 by the end. Keep that in your mind, because I'm going to show you something pretty crazy by using a different method, what could happen. This one's definitely the most psychologically proven to work because it's the most motivating, because your snowball grows faster with this one than any other method. So now let me show you a different method. This is the avalanche method. Now this doesn't have anything to do with your balance or your minimum payment. It has everything to do with how much your interest rate is. You're going to be attacking the highest interest rate first, moving to the smallest interest rate, taking those minimum payments and avalanching them towards the next one. So as we can see here, this 27% interest rate, card number 2, with a minimum payment of $50 is our beginning avalanche payment. We're going to pay that $50 every month until it's paid off, which will take a little bit longer than like the snowball method. This would take 3 years of paying this minimum payment before we would be able to start basically avalanching it to the next one. As you can see right here, it tells you 3 years and 2 months. But once that one was done, then you would go ahead and pay it to the second one. I do want to note that it does pay less in interest, so you do save money technically. So mathematically it makes sense, but motivationally this one is really hard. I want you to just picture yourself and who you are and think, can you make that minimum, $50 payment, all those minimum payments, $545 every single month, just the same for 3 years, nothing changing, and stay strong. So the snowball method's definitely the one that gives motivation. In 11 months, you can see the snowball start to form. You paid off one debt, you're on to your second one, and the payoff time is really similar, as the snowball ball was paid off in October 2027, and this one is paid off in June 2027. But this one does save money. Now I want to go back to the snowball method, and I want to show you one more thing. if we go back to the snowball method and we did have a little bit of extra money, let's say you took 50, you got 2 paychecks a month and you took 50 extra from one paycheck and 50 extra from the other paycheck. That was all that you could squeeze out. And you just applied a little bit extra, let's actually put 100 here, a little extra to your payment every month on your snowball. Okay, so I went ahead and I added an extra $100 a month here and making our total payment $645, so just $100 more than our minimum. So if you just have an extra $50 a paycheck that you could do this to, I want to just show you the power of a little bit of extra, side hustle money, what it can really do applied to the snowball method. So let's say you did that. I want you to look at right here. We went from October 2027 to November 2026, so almost a whole year sooner. And in 6 months, you're going to start seeing that snowball just starting to roll. This is huge. Everything you're throwing at that debt, that first debt, is just really going to motivate and speed up this whole process. So, if you pick the debt snowball or the avalanche, to me, it doesn't matter. I definitely think if you're in this situation and you're having a hard time staying on track or motivated, pick the debt snowball. If you're super disciplined, you're just ready to knock it out, do the avalanche. Or you can do a combination, which is what I did. I started with the snowball method, did that until I became disciplined, and now I'm finishing my debts up with the avalanche. Do what works best for you, but taking action and picking one is definitely the biggest key. All right, and number 4 is going to be implementing and staying motivated. That's where this comes in, and I will have a digital download of this, but you can also just get a piece of paper out and write this. I suggest that you, every quarter, so 4 quarters in a year, every 3 months, that you reassess where you're at in this process. By now, you should be able to pick out if you're doing snowball, avalanche, stair stepper, whatever it is that you've chosen to do is fine, and really they don't make that much difference. I know they do a little bit mathematically, but like the famous Dave Ramsey says, if we were mathematical people, we wouldn't be in this position. But whatever you've chosen, that's fine. Now it's time to write it down so you can keep yourself accountable. So let's go ahead and do just that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to put some of those numbers in here. We'll use the snowball method with the extra $100 in here to show you how this can keep you motivated. You can use this. I will have it as a digital download hopefully soon, or you can just simply use a piece of paper. Let me show you right now. Okay. So the first thing I would do is write down everything that we just calculated, whatever your, strategy plan came up with, whatever you chose, avalanche, snowball, it doesn't matter. Put those numbers in here. We chose to start this journey July 7th, so we can put that right up here. It's important to have a start date to kind of hold yourself to it. And I would even encourage you to put the end date at the bottom here. The first creditor was card number 1 if we chose the debt snowball method, and it was $1,200, and it was going to take me 6 months to pay off, and would be paid off by January 24. I'm going to put the other ones in here, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about them. Okay, and look at this is our end date right now. We can go ahead and maybe put in something here saying end date. This is a big deal as we want to make sure to really keep ourselves motivated. And as we recalculate, we can, come back in a year or less and recalculate our numbers in that same Vertex calculator and see how much time did we cut off. That visually should really help motivate us. But I bet you if you do some side hustles, this date can be even sooner. So the debt reduction plan is there. You have it laid out. You have a strategy that you're doing at the moment, and you can also change your strategies once you've done one for a while. Don't feel like you have to hold to it. Now we're going to go ahead and you set up your motivation to begin your first payment for your first credit card. So the creditor was card number 1. That's what our snowball showed us to start with. The start date was July 1st, 2023. And the deadline was when it's supposed to be over, January 24. So we're going to write January 2024. Hopefully sooner, right? And the minimum was $120. So I'm going to write minimum right here so I can keep account. Was supposed to be $120 every single month. Plus, we're doing a $100 snowball. I have to kind of like just put a little like arrow. This is flowing, a little extra money that we're doing of a total $220. Okay, so anytime I make a payment, I'm going to calculate that here, just as keeping like a debt tracker for me. And that does keep me organized, but it doesn't really keep me motivated. My best part of this is just another kind of a tracker that you could use. You could pick which one you like better. This is to break it down within the weeks. So our goal every single for every month is $220. That's the $120 payment plus the $100 extra we decided on. That's how much our goal is. And we have, you know, a few weeks, sometimes 4 weeks, sometimes 5 weeks to see what we can come up with. If you have 2 paychecks, you're going to have 2 slots here to put how much your payments are. If you get a side hustle or something like that, you put it here. So something like this, let's say paycheck number 1. That's where you did the extra $50 payment, plus you maybe split this payment in half and you did 60. So 60 plus 50 is 110. And then maybe paycheck number 2, you did another 110. But let's say you did a side hustle here, maybe Ubering, and you did another 50 towards it. Or you have a other side gig and you threw another 100 at it. So at the end of the month, you'd be able to say, yeah, you know what? My goal was achieved. I wasn't lacking at all. I was fully funded for that month. And that you actually did what? 1, 2, 3, 50, 60, 70, $370. That would be an amazing scenario, but something like this would help you kind of keep track of how you're doing. Or if you are lacking, you could put the negative here and see if maybe next month you can try to make up for some of that with some other side gigs or cutting back somewhere, right? My favorite part of this though has to be this tracker right here, because I'm visual, I need motivation, I like things pretty and motivating, and so I included a few different ones of these. You can find them printable off of you know, Pinterest and things like that too, but it'll be in the digital download. So you have like a jar here. I included few different ones. This one's kind of cute where you color in the heart, making each heart worth a different amount of the debt. I also included this one, and there'll be a few other ones that are just fun, you know, fill in and make each line something to get towards your debt. So for instance, this debt, card number 1, target is $1,200, which it would be about $110 per line. It's a little bit over, but that's good for any interest. And again, that payoff date is, let's see, January 2024. So it's just right here in front of us, which is nice. Now, let's just say that we paid the $370, then we get to fill in a few lines here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in those lines now to show you kind of what I would do at the end of the month to how much I paid on each of them. Or you could even fill it in as you're making each payment. Okay, so those are all filled in. So you only do 110, 110. I have a little bit left over here to fill up another line, but until another 110 is completed, I will only fill if I have a completely 110. So I have that visual, reminder of how far I am in this debt payoff journey. But these kind of visual reminders really help motivate me. You could even, kind of leave it out as a reminder daily to press into your journey to get free from debt. If you're all right, that's it. We did the 4 steps. We created a debt overall, and then we did a budget. We did a debt payoff strategy, and we are going to implement something to keep us motivated. So something like this, a debt-free tracker, or maybe you have somebody in your life you can be held accountable to, or come visit me every Friday when I upload a video about cash stuffing, savings challenges, and simple financial tips to keep you motivated on your journey. And if you are pretty new to this cash stuffing and savings challenges and budgeting journey, go ahead and watch this video here where I give you some pitfalls to watch out for. But as always, find joy in your journey, and I'll see you next time.